What's going on, guys? This is the Entertainment Critic here, and welcome back to yet another video on how to train your dragon in the hidden world. Now, this is going to be a video talking about the villain, who has actually been confirmed as a voice actor, and we've got a name for the villain as well. Now, this was announced quite a while back, like November 2017, this was actually announced, but I only recently found out about this, so I decided to make a video about it today. I know I should have probably researched and included it in the previous one, where I talked about the title and the synopsis, but I figured I could make this into his own video, and I'm probably going to talk about how Drago Bloodfist could also play a role in this movie, because I feel like he's going to have some kind of role, even if it's like not like the main villain, obviously, because we've already got the main villain confirmed, but he could play like a side villain role, or he could completely switch sides and end up helping the Dragon Raiders in the third movie, which would be a kind of cool thing to see, and it kind of see like an arc where he started off as a villain and he hated dragons, to realizing that Hiccup and Toothless had found the right way to coexist in peace with dragons, and he actually agrees with what they're doing. So, getting straight into this, the villain for the third How to Train a Dragon movie is going to be called Grimmel, and he's going to be voiced by F. William Abraham, who is actually a Oscar-winning actor. So that is actually really promising, because he could bring a really different presence, because we know all of the actors who are in How to Train Your Dragon, they've won some awards of some kind, and we know they're establishing really what good actors. Like, they have TJ Miller as voicing one of the twins in How to Train Your Dragon, so we know the voice acting is going to be pretty good, but to know we have an Oscar winning actor as well, it just brings it more. And he has, so if you guys haven't seen any of his work, he has kind of like a deeper British accent. So if you guys ever saw Race to the Edge, I think his name was Vigo, or the Race to the Edge season 5 villain, he was actually a lot like sounding like Grimmel would sound like in the third movie. So if you guys go and watch Dragons Race to the Edge season 5, you should get an accurate or somewhat idea of what this villain is going to sound like. So yeah, that is really promising, and I really feel like he could bring a presence to this movie, which could add whole nother layer. And I feel like he could even top Drago as a villain. Obviously, in the first movie, the only real villain was the Red Death, and that was a dragon. And then we had Drago Bloodfist, who was trying to control and then eventually wipe out dragons. So he was building a dragon army by dominating them essentially with his like cane thing. And then we had the other juxtapose of Valka, who actually had, like, it was a staff which he waves around, which then controlled all the dragons, where Drago dominated them with his cane, and then he had, like, what his Night Fury-esque cape, which stopped the dragons from actually hurting him with their fire. So he was intimidating, and I really do think Drago could play a role in this, and I think that they could bring him back, and they could bring him back as, like, either a secondary villain to Grimmel, like, he's assisting Grimmel, because I have a feeling Grimmel's ultimate goal is going to be to wipe out the dragons, because we know in this movie the dragons are going to disappear somewhere, and I don't think they're going to be wiped out, but I think that is going to be his main plan. He wants to wipe out all dragons, because he has some hatred against the dragons, and that could bring in Drago Bloodfist into his plans, because we know Drago was down and defeated, his alpha bowed his head to Toothless at the end of the second movie, but I really do feel like Drago could team up with Grimmel, and then they could both be trying to take out dragons in this one movie. Either that, or I can see Drago completely flipping sides and joining Hiccup as he realized that the way Berk had found the right way, and that coexisting with dragons in peace is the best way to move forward, and it is the best way to move forward. And Hiccup did change Berk, but I do think that ideology, it isn't going to be able to spread across the entire world. I don't think Hiccup is that effective, and I don't think it would work, because even in the second movie, we saw with Drago that even though Berk could find the right way to coexist with dragons, there were still people who existed around the world who still were terrified or still were fighting dragons and killing them. So we know that Hiccup won't be able to influence the whole world, which means that in the third movie the dragons are going to have to disappear in some way, because they're going to have to explain, like I said in the last video, how the dragons actually disappeared and why they don't exist in current times. So yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video for you guys talking about who the main villain is in How to Train Your Dragon the Hidden World, and who his voice actor is. And yeah, if you guys want to check out something that's going to sound similar to him, check out Dragons Race to the Edge season 5 and 6, and you'll get an accurate representation of what a villain might be like, or what he might be like in this movie. And I wanted to quickly touch on what Drago could play a role. He hasn't actually been confirmed for this movie yet, but I feel like if he is in the movie, it could add another layer and it could bring something new to the movie, because we haven't really seen a villain team up in the movies. It's happened in the TV shows, but they haven't actually had a villain team up in the movies, which would be cool to see. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button. Your support is very much appreciated, and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!